Micah, we should probably start thinking about what we're going to say for Savannah's introduction. I mean, the convention is in a week and we still have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, we probably should get working on that.
Yeah, I mean, we could either share stories from this past year about her, or we could do characteristics.
Sure, yeah.
I was thinking maybe we could start with talking about how she's been so welcoming this past year, and that really ties in well with her being Sentinel. She has been welcoming to not only students who she met for the first time, but even her best friends. She's always encouraging them and wanting to include everyone throughout the entire meeting or gathering she's a part of.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming at times, but we should definitely talk about that.
You can do it! You're doing so great! Just 2 more loops, so you're almost there! Come on! Good job! Oh, yeah!
I suppose another characteristic of hers we could talk about is how driven and hardworking she is. She sets difficult goals for herself, and she's going to do her best to strive towards those goals and just work as hard as she can to get to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. She's always willing to take on a new challenge. I think those are 2 really good ideas. What else can we think of?
Well, she's definitely very thoughtful and kind and compassionate to those around her. She's always willing to lend a helping hand and just talk through issues with people. And, she's pretty, I guess, sweet. A little too sweet for my taste, but,
I think the FFAers really enjoy that.
Yeah.
She really shows that she's caring for them.
That's true.
Panda, you look sad. Do you want to talk about it?
All joking aside, I think some people, they may think that because Savannah is so bubbly all the time, so welcoming, excited, thoughtful, and just energized throughout the entire gathering, that she's not as genuine, that she's faking it somehow.
Let me lay those rumors to rest. She is the most genuine person I know. She is that bubbly, that energetic, that smiley, 24/7, and she's been like that for the past 19 years. So, there's my spiel.
Without further ado, I am so excited to welcome you, our sister,
your 2019-2020 Minnesota State FFA Sentinel, Savannah Aanerud!
Mountains, bring it to his feet. Mountains, and I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
Picture this. A trembling 8th grader hiding behind a tree at a golf course for her very first cross-country race. Being dragged out from hiding was not how I was expecting to begin my very first race. 3 minutes until starting time, boomed the voice of the starter with a megaphone. My team of 7 huddled together and we gave a brave cheer. 1 minute, I gasped. In 1 minute, I was expected to run 2.5 miles as fast as I could. 10 seconds, I stepped onto the orange spray painting starting line. Made sure that my shoes were triple knotted for the 10th time that day. Got into my running stance, took a deep breath, and with a loud bang, I was off. I struggled with believing in my running capabilities until I was in about 10th grade when I started to win meets. I started to replace a what if or a fearful kind of attitude with a try me kind of attitude. With more meets being won, I eventually thought of myself as a running goddess, making headlines in my town's newspaper for placing first out of my team as well as at the meets. My dream became reality when I placed in the top 5 at sections and I was able to qualify for the state cross-country race. I thought I was unstoppable. Everything was going my way. I finally figured it out. Or so I thought. You see, the spring of my 10th grade year through my senior year were full of self-doubt and fear because I put all of my identity into my medals, my trophies, my time, and my performance. When I didn't place as well as I wanted to, or when even my teammates and other competitors started to beat me, I thought of myself as a bad athlete and thus a bad person. I felt like I had lost everything that I had to offer and that my workouts didn't even matter. I was frustrated and I was confused and extremely hurt. Are you going to let a piece of plastic on your wrist determine your self-value? Questioned my track and cross-country coach. He was referring to my watch. Yes, I was. You see, running was everything. I put all of my identity into my sports. My best friends were in track and cross-country, and I even put my running above academics. I knew that the best athletes ran at least twice a day, and so that's what I decided to do. I ran twice a day. When I had a bad meet, I would go home and I'd run more miles. The sport that I used to love eventually became the sport that I started to hate. Mentally exhausted and physically, I was ready to be done. My senior year in the fall, I placed almost dead last at my section's cross-country meet. Plagued by anxiety and injury, I felt like I had hit rock bottom. As a team captain, I went to the state cross-country meet to cheer on my teammates as a spectator and as a supporter, but not as a runner as years prior. I was devastated. I was confused. I was running twice a day. I made sure that I was eating right, going to bed early, and nothing seemed to work out. I let my anxiety control my thoughts and my feelings, and I clearly remember crying and sobbing in my garage, not sure how I could take this any longer. I was spiritually, mentally, and physically exhausted and ready to give up on any hopes and dreams I had concerning my running career. Fast forward 3 years later. I have not seriously trained for a race or ran over 5 miles in about 3 years. So when my brother asked me to train for a half marathon, my mouth dropped open. You want me to train with you? I asked. Of course. We'll do it together. A million thoughts started flooding through my mind. The last time I was in running shape was in high school. The last time I believed in my running capabilities was in high school. The last time I even thought I could run a race was in high school. It was then that I realized that I had a decision to make. I could either compare myself to the old me, the me who I was in high school, or be courageous and brave for who I am today and how far I continue to grow in the future. These past couple of years, I've realized that life is truly a journey, full of mountains with beautiful views and deep, dark valleys where one is often unsure where to go next. One would often find me imagining a beautiful, breathtaking mountain to climb instead of focusing on the figurative mountains that were right in front of me. I avoided the idea that the most growth happens was when one would hit rock bottom, where I was often plagued with anxiety and fear and not sure where to go next. You see, the last couple of years of high school, I definitely hit rock bottom in my athletic dreams. I wanted to become a 3-sport state athlete and receive a scholarship for my running capabilities, and that never happened. I have grown and I've changed since then, and my confidence has significantly improved, but I've never challenged myself to pursue running again. That thought was taboo. But I was also sick and tired of the fear that was strangling my potential. It was then that I realized that the mountain to climb was to train for that half marathon and to run it with my brother. It was October 19, 2019, on the 9th mile. I was physically exhausted and mentally, I had no clue how I was going to finish strong. My training was helpful until about 9.5 miles, when no one around me was running and I decided to walk. I felt this huge heave come up from my chest, and I almost started to cry. It was a horrifying experience, crying in front of spectators and runners, and it hurt my pride. I had thoughts of, you're a failure, or why would you ever train for something that years prior you told yourself you would never be able to do? But then I realized I was not that same fearful girl who would hide behind a tree and put her identity into her medals and trophies anymore. I have grown and I've changed since then. I looked at the other women who were passing me and I started to stress again, but then I realized something, that I needed to stop competing against people who are in a completely different race. Savannah, what if you've been assigned this mountain to show others that it could be moved? It was then that I realized that who I was competing against was only one person, and that was me. I picked myself up and I started to run again. You see, I was going to climb this mountain. I have prepared and I have trained for such a time as this, and I was going to overcome it. It was then that I realized that the courage that truly matters is the courage to try. I had about a mile left, and to my dismay, I started to walk again. I let more negative thoughts clog my mind, but then I also had time to realize that in life, our race is not meant to be run at the same pace. We all have our own individual speeds, our own personal road race up life's mountains. Our life is a work in progress. I had about a half mile left, and I started to run again. I had no clue how I was going to finish strong, and I tried to avoid the idea that my brother had already finished. I rounded the corner, and instead of seeing spectators there, I saw my brother. He looked at me straight in the eye, as if to say, I got your back. And he started to run a pace that was slower for him, but one faster than I have gone the entire race. And he told me to catch him. My family and friends have served as a strong foundation in my life's journey. My brother is a significant role model, and that he encourages me to accept life's challenges and to persevere. I could either be happy that I started to run again, or be brave and courageous once more and finish strong. We rounded that corner and ran the last half mile together, and we entered the stadium full of loud cheers from multiple supporters. I climbed that mountain that day. And even though I walked, had negative thoughts, and wanted to quit, I finished strong. You see, life is not meant to be run alone, but that does not mean that we should be comparing ourselves with each other either. It means extending your hands backwards and pulling up those and bringing them up who are struggling to take a step forward, like my brother did for me. It is extending your hands forward and bringing those and leading them towards guidance and direction, the direction and guidance that our mentors give us who are ahead of us. Just like in a relay, when you pass on the baton to the next runner, so too in life. We pass on the torch to illuminate guidance and direction through the hidden obstacles of life's deepest valleys. It is using this torch to light up the torches of those around us, to inspire them to live up to their potential. It is understanding that it is okay to be afraid, that courage truly is fear that has said its prayers. Often I hear a still small voice say, "Brave girl, you've got this." You see, my faith has proved to be a strong foundation and encourages me to armor up for whatever lies ahead of me. I'm continuously reminded that the courage that truly matters is the courage to try, and that being courageous is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to persist in the face of setbacks. It's not enough just to be brave once. It's about how many times we can be brave. How many times we can be persistently brave. Currently, I'm training for another half marathon and have the goal of running the entire race. Persistently brave means challenging ourselves each and every day to become a better version of ourselves. It is seeing life as progress over perfection. You see, it is being willing to take that single yet brave little step forward, and then another, and then another. Just like completing one task, organizing one drawer, folding one sock, lifting 1 pound, or reading one book. It is statistically proven that we are only able to control about 4% of what we worry about. Therefore, let's own that 4% and handle it bravely. What are your mountains? Who is that one person who's going to triple knot their sneakers, look you straight in the eye, and say, "See you at the top," as they run that last half mile up the mountain with you? Who is your support system? You see, God has played an influential role and encourages me to be courageous and persistently brave. It's about time that I live in the lane of faith and courage instead of in the lanes of fear and doubt. FFA members and guests, we are born to be brave. It is our courageous choice to be persistently brave. Let's take that single yet brave little step forward together.
That we have each other, and for that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise, we'll rise.
Savannah, thank you for always serving with a purpose. You're always looking for us to have a direction and serving for a reason.
Savannah, thank you for being the greatest friend and listener anyone could ask for.
Savannah, thank you so much for making sure that everybody feels loved and treating everybody with genuine kindness.
Savannah, thank you for showing all your love to our team and the members of Minnesota FFA. You truly love every person you come in contact with.
Thank you so much for being such a beautiful example of what it means to be a servant leader, and for constantly not only pushing yourself towards betterment and success, but helping our team improve as well throughout this year.
Thanks for a great year. Love you, Savannah.
I'm truly convinced that God places people in our lives for a reason, and I'm very thankful for the reasons that these people have played a major role in mine.
To my mentors, Val Lumen, Natasha Mortensen, and Uncle Jonathan and Aunt Carolyn. Val, thank you for our long phone calls and Zoom calls, random prayer requests sent your way, and your continuous encouragement. You have helped me stay strong and persevere throughout this year, and I'm very grateful. Natasha, I remember when I first joined FFA, I learned that you signed me up for the creed competition in 9th grade, and ever since then, you have played a major role in my life. Thank you for your enthusiasm, contagious passion towards helping others grow, and for always being able to be a phone call away, ready to help me with whatever I need. Uncle Jonathan and Aunt Carolyn, thank you for your encouragement and support every step of my journey. From cheering me on at gymnastics meets towards me driving with you to see the Vice President of the United States. You guys have helped me stay strong in my faith and passions. To my administration, Mr. Ekren, you are much more than my track coach. You have supported me in all of my sports, and your encouragement outside of sports and into my FFA life is very much so appreciated. Thank you for all you do for me and continue to do for Morris FFA. To my advisors, Miss Bieran and Mr. Milbrandt. Miss Bieran, thank you for late nights of helping me prep for my FFA pursuits and for giving me pep talks. Thank you for listening to me when I need to vent and for always believing in me. Mr. Milbrandt, you're one of the most selfless people that I know. You always stop what you are doing to help me with whatever I need, whether it's encouragement, pep talks, or any other random questions or tasks that I may ask of you. To my roommates, Courtney, Brianna, and Grace, Thank you for putting up with me leaving early in the mornings and then helping me create workshops late at night. Your constant encouragement, life chats, and dance parties are truly missed. To my family, Micah. Thank you for being my personal comedian, swing dancing partner, and my forever twin. Our late night talks and jam out sessions are always valued. Cammie and Becca. Thank you for being faithful sisters and always checking up on me. You guys are my role models, and your bravery inspires me to be purposeful with every step. To my parents. Mom, you are my superhero. Thank you for always being ready for a random panic phone call 24/7 and for always knowing what to do to make me feel better and stronger. You are my best friend and an amazing role model to learn from. Dad, thank you for keeping me grounded in my faith and teaching me the importance of having a strong work ethic. I always appreciate how you set time out of your day to check up on me and support me however possible. Mom and Dad, thank you for showing me the importance of servant leadership and leading with integrity. FFA members, advisors, and the endless supporters, thank you for blessing me with this opportunity to lead, learn, and grow beside you.
To those mentioned and many more, thank you for your endless prayers, phone calls, hugs, life advice, and for always standing by my side.